All right, you saw the title, and I know that sounds crazy, but I have never made a cold call, sent a cold DM, sent a cold email, sent a cold text, nothing to a copywriting client ever. Because while cold outreach is an incredibly powerful thing, and many multimillionaires and probably even billionaires have been made using cold outreach, I found something that works better. Something that doesn't feel slimy, doesn't require a million messages to get one single client, and doesn't lead to a bunch of no-shows. So this is honestly more like a principle. It applies to any business, any industry, if you actually apply it. So whether I was copywriting, editing videos, building a software company, whatever it was, I would be using this. Heck, even if I wasn't an entrepreneur, I would use this. Okay, so what is it? Now, you probably know how important networking is. You've heard the gurus talk about it, how to network with millionaires, how to build your personal circle, how to make connections, yada, yada, yada. And sometimes that can sound as slimy as cold calling. If your heart is in the wrong place and you're just networking to use people, essentially it's the same thing. You're still just using people. And that is not what we're talking about here. Because if you're using people, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot long term. But what I did, since the first time I got around entrepreneurs as a 19-year-old kid and started networking, started building my personal circle, was I just sought to learn from people. Every opportunity I got, I was looking to learn. I was looking to add value. I was always in the position of a student. Great example. I was in New York City helping a friend of mine who has a clothing company do a photo shoot for her new launch. It was during the holidays. And we met this entrepreneur who was the owner of a cafe we wanted to shoot at, and he was letting us shoot there. And of course, I just struck up a conversation because I was curious as to what it was like to own a business in New York City. He told me how crazy the different seasons were, the demand. He actually was telling me how he owned different businesses in different industries all around New York City. And that really sparked my curiosity even more because I was curious how he was balancing like different industries, different locations, like how did he manage and organize his time? And I was just asking him all these questions. And see, I was genuinely curious. I genuinely wanted to know what were things he was struggling with, what were things he had learned, what were his successes. And I was just asking him questions because I was genuinely curious. I had nothing to gain from that except for knowledge. And entrepreneurs appreciate that so much. They appreciate people that are hungry to learn. So I wound up getting his number, and he has become such an incredible resource. I've asked him questions about hosting events and different businesses in New York and got his opinion on marketing. I even reached out to him when I started copywriting. He's been such a great resource just because I was genuinely forming a connection and interested in learning from him. Another great example is a local networking group that I used to attend every single month, and I would just go there and I would talk to every entrepreneur there, asking them questions about their business, trying to find out what they were struggling with, learning about, what their goals were, and trying to help them, like genuinely, however I could, trying to connect them with other people. And I was always just like super humble trying to learn because I knew that they had accomplished things I hadn't accomplished. And just about everyone has something you can learn from them, especially in an entrepreneurial environment. And I formed so many great connections through that networking group. I actually have 3 clients still today from that group. Another example, I went to a one-day networking event. I flew to California for this event, and I was just picking people's brains. They were super high-level entrepreneurs. I was, learning about them, why they started their business, their goals, just like normal conversations. Like I just wanted to find out about them. But I always like to get to know people on a deeper level, even if the theme is business. I want to find out their goals. I want to find out why they started their business, what inspired them, what were struggles, did they have support from family, did they not? And just asking questions that I'm genuinely curious about. And sure enough, that led to 2 clients, like 2 big clients. And it was super exciting. And the coolest part about that is those clients are friends. They're friends now because I actually took the time to get to know them as people. And when you build those kind of relationships with people you do business with, it can lead to so many cool things because it leads to genuine referrals. It leads to really good word of mouth marketing. It leads to this huge network and just like a really organic, genuine relationship where you can work with people and understand where they want to go, not just like this transaction. So that's how I've managed to land some really cool guests on my podcast, land some epic clients, and just build friendships that are going to last a lifetime. All right, so tactically, this is what you can do. I want you to go onto Eventbrite, look up events in your local city, find 3 events in the next month. I guarantee there's going to be events happening. You can look up business networking events. You can look up something industry specific. You can just find like a professional cocktail hour or something where you can go and meet other professionals and just network, get into conversations with people, find out their goals, just genuinely build relationships. And if you find yourself in a conversation that you're just really enjoying and the person is super cool, exchange Instagrams. It's super just like relaxed and chill. You're not like handing them a business card or like promoting your business. Just connect, build relationships. And if your business never comes up, that's fine. Just focus on deepening and building that friendship and that relationship. And that's what's going to lead to the coolest business deals. And it might be indirect. It might be them referring you to a friend of a friend of a friend who then refers you to this person who comes on as a guest to your podcast or something, which, by the way, if you have a podcast, that is like the speedboat, the holy grail, the Bugatti to get you to really cool networking groups, to get you into these rooms of people that you can build relationships with on a deeper level. Because when someone comes on your podcast and you talk about their life story for an hour, you build such a strong relationship with them. And you also find out what their needs are and what their goals are and where they want to be. And then you can tailor your services to really solve their problems, hit those pain points, and get them to their goals. And I've never had someone say no to coming onto my podcast. And it's because of the way that I ask them. I always pay them a compliment in the way that I'm asking them. I usually say something along the lines of, hey, I love what you've accomplished. It's so inspiring. I would absolutely be honored to have you on my podcast and be able to share your story with my audience. I think they would learn so much from it. And if you ever have like a spare 20 minutes, it would be an honor. So when I send a message like that, people want to come on. They love that. They're being paid a compliment, number one. They're being shown respect. And also people love to share their story. And most people have some kind of an impact they want to make. And a podcast is a platform. You don't have to have a big audience. I don't. I have 100 subscribers. You can literally have no audience, but just being on a podcast to people, even if it's small, is such a valuable thing to them, especially if it's just an opportunity for them to share their story and talk. And you can also just cut up that content into short form and be like, hey, I'll give you some free content to use. And that's a great incentive also. But I think if you ask them the right way, it's just inevitable. They're going to say yes if you're talking to the right people. Okay, next, go on to school.com and join at least 3 business groups related to an interest or an industry that you're in and just learn from people. I have a free group. It's linked in the description below if you guys want to join that. There's about 50 or so entrepreneurs in there in different industries, so that's a great place to start. But literally any 3 business-related groups, they're probably going to have some kind of a live call once a week. And you want to jump on there. You want to learn as much as you can. If there's an opportunity to ask questions, share your story, share what you're working on, share what you're trying to learn, because that's where you're going to network with people. And then you can jump into the chats after those calls and really start to build those relationships. Ask people to come on your podcast if you have one, which I recommend you do. And just find ways to add value to them. Maybe share resources or share connections, find out what their problems are so you can solve them and add value. And then you're going to start to build that circle. I have made thousands of dollars from projects, collaborations, clients I've found through these online groups. And it's the same principles as in-person networking. You still want to just be focusing on the value, building the relationship, not pitching. Okay, so if you still feel like you need help building your circle, building your network, feel free to click the link in my description to jump on a call and I'll see if I can't open up some doors for you, connect you with some of the people in my network. If it makes sense, I can't promise anything, but feel free to jump on a call and I'll strategize with you, at the very least, give you a game plan on how to make those connections. Just remember, always surround yourself with people who have the values that you have the life that you want, and challenge you to be a better version of yourself. Those are the people that are going to get you closer to your goals. Don't surround yourself with people that don't have the life you want, and don't let those people that don't have the life you want give you advice, because the advice that they're giving you has gotten them to where they are. So surround yourself with people who have what you want and have a driven work ethic, and they inspire you to be better. They don't let you settle for average. And I hope that was helpful. Hope you guys got some really cool tips there. Start building your network, go add some value to people, and I will see you in the next video.